Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Melina and today I'm going to share with you 5 Christmas books I recommend to read during the Christmas season. So let's get into it. So during the Amazon Prime sale, I actually ended up getting a Kindle Paperwhite and it changed my life. I was always a team paperback person and I still am technically, but the idea of being able to carry so many books in this small little compact device is life-changing. I was able to read, I think, 5 Christmas books this season, which is a lot for me. I actually have read 82 books out of 80. My goal was 80 for the Goodreads goal. And so I'm going to share with you some of my favorites and maybe 1 or 2 older favorites that I have liked in past years. So the first book I'm going to recommend is called Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. They actually just came out with a movie on Netflix about it, which I have not watched, so I cannot recommend it. The book itself is really good and I highly recommend it. So the story follows 2 characters in New York City, Dash and Lily, and when one of them leaves a notebook full of tasks to complete in a bookstore, the other person finds it and finishes whatever they were supposed to do and puts it back on the bookshelf, and basically they end up having this friendship slash like relationship with this person, and it's so entertaining. It's really cute. I ended up liking both characters a lot. It's a really quick read. The book is super thin, but I highly recommend it for the Christmas season. So the second book is In a Holidays. I'll have all the covers right here on the side if I didn't mention it already. So the book follows May, and it's kind of like a Groundhog's Day movie idea where instead of she's repeating certain days over and over again. So for in this instance, she typically goes on this trip with her close family friends to this cabin that they've been going for years and years. And at the end of this week, a few bad things happen and she ends up getting into a car crash, and she wakes up at the beginning of the week, like before that she even makes it to the cabin. And so at first, obviously, she's super startled and she starts taking these missteps where basically she ends up in these accidents and then wakes up again to start these days over again. And this happens a few times, so she kind of gets the gist of like what should she do and what shouldn't she do. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a cute romance. The character's really likable, and so are the other side characters actually, and it's a really quick read, which I think during the holidays is kind of refreshing. You need something that wants to like calm you down, make you feel good. It's definitely a feel-good story. While this plotline isn't specifically unique, it's really fun and well written, and I highly recommend it. Okay, another book I recently read was Mistletoe and Mr. Right. It's right here. This is the second book to like a Towns series where technically the books are interconnected, but some of the characters reoccur between the book series. So if you do want to read this one and you're kind of into that whole like getting to know other characters from other books, read the first one. Even though it's not my favorite, I definitely recommend this one specifically for Christmas. If you want to get to know the other characters a little more, then read the first one. Okay, so this story follows Lana, who is a rich like real estate entrepreneur. Basically, she comes from old money and they make their money through real estate. And so she's fallen in love with this town because it had very fun memories when she was younger, and like her family was actually a family. Sorry, that's my dog. And she decides that in order to save the town, which you find out in the first book that they're going bankrupt because they're not getting enough tourists, that she's going to invest in the town and buy the town off so she could increase tourism and save the townspeople because she genuinely loves them. The problem with this is that the townspeople don't want more tourists. They're kind of happy with their small town life, and even though they're definitely struggling, they have a lot of pride and they don't want these people there. And basically while she's there, she ends up having a crush on this guy named Rick, who is one of the people who are like who likes her, who wants her to be in town, and he cares for her. And basically it's a really cute romance where both of the characters they both grow a lot actually. He learns to like let someone into his life after his ex-wife had left, and she learns to open up. She's never had someone who didn't want her for her money, with the exception of her best friend who you meet in book 1. And it's another feel good. It's well written. This one's a little longer than the other one, so if you want a quick read In Holidays. or even Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. This one's definitely, I feel like it took me a little longer to get through, but I do like the plot. I like the drama, I guess, so to say, and it's really enjoyable. I really am so excited to read book 3, which is supposed to come out, I believe, in January, February of this month. So stay tuned if you like this book and you end up liking the first one. Read the third one's coming out soon. So another book I recently read it's called Faking Under the Mistletoe, and I'm such a fan of like the whole, pretending to be in a relationship type trope. I feel like they're really enjoyable. They're always cute, and even though you always know how they're gonna end, sometimes they have their own little twist, but they're always just so cute and feel goody. I don't even know what to say. So the story is about a PR intern and the head of a company, and Olivia, who is the intern, she is in charge of basically running all the Christmas events during December. And so during one of the events, Asher ends up going, and he sees his ex-girlfriend, and she seems so in love with someone else, and Olivia feels so like heartbroken for him, even though he's an asshole to her basically throughout the whole book, at least especially in the beginning. And she pretends to be his boyfriend so he doesn't look, she pretends to be his girlfriend so he doesn't look so heartbroken over this new girl, and he's seeing her, and like, you know. And so when the ex-girlfriend comes up to them, she's like, oh, I'm his boyfriend. Ugh, why do I keep saying that? I'm his girlfriend. And so basically they start this whole fake relationship because the ex-girlfriend keeps inviting them to events, and they fall in love, and it's really cute. This one's, again, another on the it's a quicker read. As you could tell, most of these are like romance books because I'm such a sucker for like Christmas romance novels. I think they're super cute, really easy, really lighthearted, and they just make you feel so good, honestly. Yeah, and it makes you in this Christmas spirit, considering that this Christmas is a little weird because of like COVID, but I definitely recommend this one too. It's super cute. I say that about all of them, haven't I? But it's really, it's a good read. So the final book that I'm going to talk about is also an older book. It's called Like Christmas Date. It's by Camilla Isley. I'm a big fan of hers. I read a lot of her books, and I review them often on my blog. I think with the exception of 1 or 2, I've read all of her books. This one is, again, a fake boyfriend trope. Again, it's Christmas themed, and it's super cute, and it's a super short read. So this book follows Nikki, who is in New York, and she finds out that she knows. The story follows Nikki, and she's having a little bit of a problem because she's going to visit her family who do not live in New York City for the holidays. And you find out early on that her sister had actually gotten engaged to her like longtime crush. So she didn't want to show up to her parents' house alone and, you know, looking like a lovesick puppy, because deep inside it's killing her that her sister is engaged with this person that she's been in love with for so long. So if I recall correctly, Nikki works for either a marketing firm or a PR firm or something along the lines of where she has the connections to hire like talent. And so I believe she goes through a whole book of like actors and models and everything, and she finds this guy who is beyond gorgeous, and she decides to pay him to go up to visit her parents with her for the weekend. And of course they get to know each other and they fall in love, and it's super cute. Obviously it plays out exactly the way you would think it would, but it's one of those things, again, where it's not so much about being the creative new plotline. It's more like feel-good Christmas feels, and this is what this book gives you. I highly recommend this book, not because it's, again, a 5-star book, more because of the fact that it's definitely a feel-good Christmas book. So I believe these are all the books that I'm going to recommend to you today. If you're interested in me reviewing or recommending extra like Christmas books, I have more. It's just I wanted to keep this list like short and sweet, especially since we're coming close to Christmas already. You know, get those last minute reads in. So these are all the books I'm going to recommend to you today. Are there any books that you recommend for me to read before Christmas comes? Leave a comment down below. As always, I hope you give it a thumbs up or subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.